Welcome back to WCS Winter. Ladies and gentlemen, during the break, we went to the chat. We read your comments. We understood what you wanted. You wanted more Zerg versus Zerg. And not only do we have Zerg versus Zerg, but we got Nathanius, our ZvZ secondary expert.
Yep.
We all know that Jeff is the ZvZ expert.
I mean, during that match, I was crushing so many Zs, really. I have become the ultimate Z expert. I need a coffee on the desk. I'm excited. So hyped, you know.
Me as well.
It's
going to be a good time. And the only thing that could make this ZvZ even more Zergerific is if we talk about the potential of the Zerg skins, such as that wonderful hatchery war chest skin. Absolutely beautiful.
Yep. I know the word hive is there, but it's technically all
that is
skin. The hatchery turns into a lair, turns into a hive. It's 3 skins in one if you really think about it.
I'm pretty sure that's the hatchery version.
If you're like no regret though, you probably don't ever see the hive skin.
No, he did not see a hive until about 2017. I was there. When he made it, he said, wow, I didn't know that you got more hit points when you got a hive.
Yeah. Should we tell them we're ready? I think we're ready to go.
I think we are pretty much ready because our next series is going to be that ZvZ, as mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's going to be that lower bracket match to see who gets eliminated from WCS Winter, GogojOey, or JimRising. Who are you anticipating?
I have no idea. No, JimRising.
JimRising? You think JimRising is going to get... Oh,
JimRising is going for an any % world record here, okay? That's not
You think it's going to be fast then?
Yeah, that is the implication, is that he'd be speedrunning this series.
Okay, we'll find out as we move into Kairos Junction. I unfairly asked Nate for his opinion and then don't have to give my own. Starting down here on the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Zerg player from Mexico. He is JimRising.
And his opponent in the northwest, the red Zerg, he is GogojOey. Is he 7 foot tall, blonde, and uses Red Eyes Black Dragon?
What? I know that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, but I couldn't tell if you were referring to Kaiba or Yugi.
There's a character named Joey! Ravi, there's a character literally named Joey.
I forgot about Brooklyn Rage.
Of all the characters that I would reference.
I was actually not a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
God.
I tried.
What did you get in trouble for during recess
Magic the
at
Gathering.
school?
Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
I mean the WoW Arena card game. What about you?
I remember we went through the whole phase in my school. Everything got banned. My first grade teacher took my Pokemon cards,
actually,
as you described.
Like, was this elementary school or middle school for you?
Both for me.
I guess for me in elementary school, it was, I had such a sad story. In elementary school, everyone was getting into Pokemon trading cards, right? And of course, they were the huge hype. It was original 150 Pokemon and all that stuff. We didn't have those other new Pokemon. And what happened for me is that I had never been involved in a trading card game, so I didn't know the value of those cards.
So did you give away a holographic Charizard or something?
So I bought a booster pack because I didn't realize you needed a deck to play.
Yes, it's called a real-life loot box.
I got I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating this. I got a holographic first edition Charizard card in that booster pack.
Did you gave it to someone?
I traded it away for a Ghastly, a Japanese Ghastly, I think.
I'm about to throw up on
a
broadcast.
Wartortle and a Squirtle because I was building up to a Blastoise because my starter Pokemon was always Squirtle.
Nope. Oh my goodness.
And luckily, Nate is gonna just have to focus on trying to prevent himself from vomiting from that story. So now I can talk about the game.
I was trying to not talk about ZvZ. Now I want to talk about ZvZ.
Whoa, okay, hold on. So JimRising going for a pretty quick Baneling Nest over here, but he skipped Zergling Speed. And GogojOey is going for the more normal-looking ZvZ style. He goes for the third base, and he's going to get up Zergling Speed. So this is maybe an opportunity for GogojOey to put some pressure on, because JimRising, he's going for the Baneling Nest. He's not doing it into the front, though.
No, and usually if you put it at the front, it is because you want it to help block. But keeping it hidden in the back is usually because the Overlord is not going to be going there. Most of the Overlords are in the middle of the map. Sometimes they do check that front, but hiding it in the back. He is going to get a lair behind it. But look at this, a lot of Lings coming out for GogojOey. He's getting the evolution chamber, but even if he goes for Carapace or +1 attack, it's going to be a while before he has it. Interested to see what he can accomplish while JimRising makes his banelings.
He definitely is going to need a couple of banelings to survive here. The queens can block the ramp all they want, but the drones are still going to be the ones that he has to worry about losing. Good drone defense so far. Loses a few lings, but keeps all the drones alive. But now the ramp is clear. Going to try and bait the lings up into the main for the banelings, but the banelings are a little bit late to the punch.
Yep, and one baneling is going to get half of the lings there, though. So, feels good for JimRising. Still ahead in that drone count as he has held on with his slow Zerglings.
Yep, and it's just drones behind that for GogojOey. A few more lings popping out, sure, but these are just lings that you want kind of out on the map in case your opponent goes on the counteroffensive, etc. But melee upgrade coming out here for GogojOey. Now, he is not invested into the lair. He hasn't gone up to Aspire, but oftentimes if you're just going for a lot of lings and you go for melee upgrade, you are thinking about Aspire yourself.
I wonder if GogojOey looks at what he saw and says to himself, this is definitely Muta's. Because, like, he got into the main, it's like, you didn't get ling speed. You still didn't have ling speed even right there. There's no wall at the front. There's no roaches. He got in the main, and he didn't see a roach warren. Saw that there's a lair. So all the alarm bells should just be like, you know what I mean? This should just be adding up for him in his head, that this could only be one thing. A slow baneling doom drop all in. You know?
Of course. That's the only thing that comes to mind here. Well, JimRising gonna be losing an Overlord there. Not gonna get supply blocks as that Spire finishes up, which is very important. And he's gonna flood out how many mutas? He's got enough gas saved up for 6. Not a ton, but it's enough to at least see some map control as he takes the 3rd base. But if GogojOey has a good idea that this is gonna be happening, his lings are gonna have a slight edge over his opponents with +1 melee, and his Spire is gonna be a bit later. But because he also didn't make banelings, he's going to potentially have more gas he can invest and play a bit of catch-up with that.
That looks like the game that we'll be playing. So it's going to come down a lot to the controlling that you can exhibit with those. As the lings rip through 2 of the queens. Those simuling queens, the Zerglings are like, you're not real queens, you don't deserve to live. As they rip them apart, and the robot rights activists get very fired up in the chat.
Yeah. Shout out to JimRising for using all the skins, by the way.
Yeah. He's the 2nd player to really flex on him.
That is that hatchery skin, or sorry, the lair skin.
Now it's the lair, yes.
Okay, the mutas now being out can put some pressure on the Spore Crawler. A little bit late here, but JimRising not actually killing off too many workers, maybe only getting 1 or so there. While another Ling counterattack is going to catch JimRising totally off guard.
Those +1 upgraded Lings do a lot of damage to buildings, although getting a little bit sidetracked with the other Lings. I would have liked to see if he could have tried to focus it down, but I'm also crazy, so glad he's not doing that.
Things in the main base getting cleaned up. Spire about to finish up, and we'll see how much gas does GogojOey have saved up. About 900, so he really can play nearly total catch-up here with JimRising on that Mutaflock.
Yep.
Oh, going for Corruptors.
Biggest thing. Oh, wow. Corruptors, what? Biggest thing is that the 3rd base was so much later for JimRising, and as you pointed out, he doesn't have ling speed. His slow, frail mechanical lings, not doing the job, but he's not mining the 3rd base gas, which GogojOey has been doing. He's had access to that for a while. So his ability to build those Mutalisks is significantly greater than that of his opponent. So maybe he's getting a few Corruptors early to tank. No, he's just building Corruptor.
I haven't really seen this in Zerg versus Zerg, and I guess in theory, I'll state the problem first. The problem
so he opens with Carapace then. Okay, I like it.
So they will absolutely massacre the Muta flock, but it's a problem of catching them, right?
Yeah, well, I guess you try to force a fight with the Corruptors.
By caustic spraying the hatchery or something?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, your opponent kind of has to react if their hatchery's just dying.
It's extremely good that JimRising opens up with attack.
That is going to help out quite a bit versus the heavy armor Corruptors.
So for those of you who don't know, by default, Mutalisks do, what, 9 damage, and then it bounces to 2 and then to 1. But the Corruptor has 2 armor by default, so it really negates the bouncing almost completely. But having that extra upgrade, I think, makes it, what, 10-3-1 or something like that?
You're throwing numbers out, and I'm hearing them. Nate, but I
Okay.
have not comprehended.
You're supposed to be the other person that
I
knows all
thought
the
it was-
useless facts.
I know the useless facts, and I think that is 30% less damage per Glaveworm bounce. I think that is the math.
Okay.
Which is also why +1 missile or weapons on mutas makes it so that the Glaveworm bounces don't really do actual additional damage. They do like a fraction of a single
Well, this
damage.
is that weird force fight we were talking about. It's a bunch of corruptors against the Mutalisks, and I guess
the mutas.
this is some 300 IQ play that GogojOey's bringing up that the world just wasn't ready for yet.
Mutas are doing better than I thought they would.
It's because +1 Carapace isn't done for the corruptors. He attacked.
Ah.
He actually just pushed into an anti-timing. He's like, your +1 attack is done so that you can kill my guys, and my Carapace is not done, so my guys will die faster.
Yeah, the
For
Carapace.
those reasons, I'm out.
Yeah, and like I was saying for the weapon upgrade for the mutas, the weapon upgrade doesn't increase the damage that very much, if at all, for the Glaveworm bounces, but the armor upgrades reduces that Glaveworm bounce damage by 1. So getting an armor upgrade is substantially better versus mutas than a muta getting a weapon upgrade. It is not like a Marine gets +1 weapons, and if you get a +1
Well, I
armor
do
versus
think
it-
that the upgrade for attack is better for the mutas here, just because the actual straight up normal attack gets heavily stunned by the 2 armor that the corruptor starts with. By
That is,
default.
yeah, it's definitely important. But now we end up seeing the lair going to get target fired down by the Caustic Spray, drawing the mutas out of hiding, going to try and take them on. A few corruptors of his own, JimRising, going to try and push this back. It is 21 corruptors versus 15
I do
mutas.
not think I've ever seen this before. I
Nope.
don't think I've ever. That's my favorite thing about casting StarCraft here, Dragon. Because I come in here like, okay, ZvZ, there may be some physical pain involved here, but this is new.
9 years in. These are all units that have been in the game since the beginning.
Yes, indeed. And I've always constantly seen people find different ways to do stuff. I really like it because it is so weird that I think it could work. With these upgraded lings that he's had flying around the map, and the fact that his corruptors are extremely hard to kill, maybe this is it. And then eventually you get a greater spire and make broodlords, or just have the corruptors
Ooh.
caustic spray on everything.
A lot of good damage with those lings being done at the top right-hand base. That 4th base getting ravaged. The corruptors make their way back over to the main. Got a caustic spray down that Hilaire again. No, actually just going to go over to this base and encounters the corruptors and the mutas once again. And some lings getting some damage on the main base of GogojOey, but GogojOey able to push that back. 72 workers to 59.
I love this. This is I would call this a meme build for ZvZ. I didn't know meme builds were possible in ZvZ, but I love it.
I actually, if I did not see a few of those lings doing counterattacks on the ground, I actually would think that GogojOey is mono-battling corruptors right now. Even got a few Hydras on the way.
Yeah, like you have to switch out to Hydralisks here if you're JimRising. But at some point, when you lose that air battle, doesn't this just turn into that joke everybody makes, which is like mass, like you just kill all the overlords, like mass Vikings, and then the opponent's supply block.
If your opponent has no supply, they can't make any units.
Yeah.
I guess there's the hatcheries, but even
Some
the corruptors can kill those now.
ZvZ thinking here. Because the
Man,
mutas can run
corruptors are
away.
so fast.
Yep.
They almost catch up with mutas.
Well, you know, those Void Rays and Tempest used to move really fast, so the corruptors got buffed, which is why they're fast. Fun fact.
and now my Tempests don't move that fast anymore.
All the Protoss air units got nerfed. Corruptor is still basically Vin Diesel in a giant flesh-flying monster.
Well, I know that the Phoenix haven't been nerfed yet because Roddy will suddenly go on strike on his
Maybe
for a
one
few
maybe
weeks.
one day they'll decide they don't want Protoss opening Stargate every game. We'll see. We'll see first.
Okay, Corruptor is gonna try and caustic spray down this hatchery, and then suddenly realizing, oh, actually, there's a lot of Hydras here. My Corruptors can suddenly get hit, and I can't do anything about it. But he's got his own Hydras, encountering the Mutas on the south side of the map. Now he can join forces, Corruptors with Hydras, to make a whole new composition.
Yep, that's this is terrifying. He's maxed out. There's going to be a ton of queens, a ton of hydras, and then the only other thing that he can do is just bring the mutas that aren't going to do anything to the corruptors. Now, maybe he can't win the ground army, though, because there's just too many corruptors.
Yeah, and the thing about GogojOey's army is that if he loses the ground battle, then it doesn't matter how many corruptors he has, because the hydras are still going to be able to deal with them.
Yeah, this is really weird. I mean, the queen transfuses are doing very well. I do feel that with especially the defensive defender's advantage, there should just be way too much.
Yeah.
Now you send the corruptors in and try to snipe a base or something while all the hydras are over here.
You have to get some value out of them.
Get the lair.
Maybe you go for the lurker den? Or do you go for the lair first?
No, the lair's the big target. That's the one where you're like, you don't think, you just go and you just do it, and that's.
Ooh, I love they split up his corruptors. Going after multiple
multi-pass, nice.
That micro. Getting some damage done. A few more hydras, sniping off a queen. Doesn't want to overcommit with those. He really needs to build up that ground force, because again, he doesn't actually have anything to kill these hydras right now. And after losing his main force, he needs to get something up.
Indeed he does. This game is so weird. So weird. He still has so much more than JimRising.
Yeah, GogojOey starting to finally push JimRising further
and
back.
And his +2 attack's about to finish in this very small window where if he can fight for that like 10 seconds,
I am trying to track those upgrades, man. There are so many of them, and finally he's going to go after that lurker den.
Bye. GG! GogojOey wins the first game. What did I just watch?
You just watched Taiwanese ZvZ, man.
Fast +1 melee into mass corruptors?
I'm loving it, man. This is what happens when we get new regions in the Americas. We get to see them facing off versus players that we've seen before. We get to see all new metas. Taiwanese ZvZ looking nothing like our European counterparts.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted.
I thought that was really cool. But that doesn't really work unless you know your opponent is hard committing to mutas. Because remember you were talking about earlier, there was no Zergling speed there from JimRising. Imagine you make a bunch of corruptors and your opponent just makes a bunch of queens and then just floods lings, and you have nothing on the ground to deal with the lings.
Well, then you just have what? You split your corruptors into 3 groups and caustic spray every base. Unless they have 3 spores, you're going to kill all the hatcheries.
I suppose.
Queens aren't going to kill corruptors.
But imagine if he had...
How many queens is he going to have? 6? That's not enough. 7?
I guess you do get the hatcheries, but then you also...
Is he Snoot? Does he have 14 queens?
If you have that many corruptors, you probably don't have any lings on the ground, so you still lose on your side of the map, don't you?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, well...
I think the balance, the counterweight, is that you have that +1 melee. Because so rarely do you see the upgrades in ZvZ. I think that's the thing. Because you don't need as many links as your opponent has, because your opponent's probably going to be fighting with unupgraded speed links, and you're going to have that +1 that makes it so even though you're building corruptors, you still just have an entanglement. And you can do it.
Very cool. Well, we're moving on to Automaton for game number 2. JimRising was the one that kind of initiated the weirdness of that game with the really fast Baneliness on 2 bases and going up to a really fast lair, going up to 2-base Spire play. We'll see if he is going to initiate the weirdness once again.
Oh, he's going to do something. He's going to do something completely different. There's absolutely no way JimRising wants to play a game like that.
He was like, "What is this?"
JimRising's biggest fear is that because of the time this broadcast is on, other people might do this on ladder now. A bunch of NA Zergs are going to start massing corruptors. And you know what? It's going to be weird.
It's like his ladder heroes money, man.
Yeah, because people aren't going to realize how this happened. And then it's just going to be like, I'm going to rush into the middle, and then it's going to be 10 corruptors for each player. It's going to smack into each other. And that's it. And then it's just going to turn into like Phoenix versus Phoenix, where nothing actually ever dies except for the Phoenix.
You know what I can't wait for? Is in Diamond League, you're going to have these Zerg players that see the Spire. They're going to be like, I'm going to make a bunch of corruptors. And then their opponent makes 6 mutas, and then makes a bunch of roaches, and they're like, oh, I actually just died now.
You still die. I think you'll still die to just speed roach all.
Yep.
Those are very strong.
All right. Well, we're going to be starting down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, top of the red Zerg player. He is JimRising. His own caster portrait.
He's got a first-class seat on the struggle bus after that last map, facing off against our blue Zerg player, who does not have his own face in the game next to his hatchery. He is GogojOey.
Now, you could argue that he does have a Joey portrait. Joey Rayner.
I don't know. There's no baby kangaroos. This is America's, okay? There's no baby kangaroos in the game.
Is there a Joey Ray's bar portrait or anything like that?
No.
No.
Closest you get is Tychus, I would guess. I don't know how that you would make a portrait of the bar. Mostly because the size of portraits is pretty good for portraits, literal portraits, but I don't know how they are for landscape shots of bars.
That's fair. Yeah, we don't really have any landscape.
Also,
it's all people.
Yeah, also you don't really get to see too much. And if it's just the intro to Wings of Liberty, like if that's Joey Ray's bar, then that is, I don't even think we have bars that small in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
That
they're
is the
like
smallest
4 or
bar
5
ever.
seats.
There's like maybe 3 seats, and then there's a bunch of Rainer's personal belongings there. Like, I don't know, man. That seems a little, you know, I don't want to go somewhere that low-key.
That's like a bar inside someone's house.
Yes, well, that is his man cave, is what I would have guessed.
I never understood where the bartender was.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of questions that aren't answered. I don't know why you'd want a portrait of that.
Well, because his name is GogojOey. All right. Well, this game, we do have another Baneley Nest coming out from JimRising nice and early on, but it's a Baneley Nest from both sides. Both these players getting up their Zergling speed. And this Baneley Nest definitely a little bit more obvious as it's down on the low ground. It's not hidden up in the main base trying to say like, oh no, that might be going for a wall off with the Evolution Chamber and Rotor. No. Normal play from JimRising, or normal-ish so far.
Yeah, a lot of Lings and a Baneley Nest on the way from old Jimmy, though.
Yeah, the Lings may change things around a little bit.
Old Jim and Joe.
I'm trying to remember, actually, they had a little bit of Ling skirmishes. JimRising.
Well, JimRising was playing without speed, though. That's the biggest thing.
He was.
So, I'm not entirely sure.
He's going to be making his way across the map. They did go directly underneath that Overlord, so GogojOey should fully know that they are headed his way. Already morphing a couple of Banelings. Third base maybe going to be under assault soon. Banelings have to waddle their way over, but the hatchery...
How much will he commit to defending it? That's what I want to know.
Because he has drones behind this for JimRising.
All right, the Banelings are enough to scare away those Lings. JimRising has killed me with, like, fast Roach or Ling Bane attacks so many times. I know he's good at this stuff. That's my pain.
Whoop. Banelings dodging and weaving right now. We get 2 Banelings that make their way into the main base.
That's a sick dodge. He could use those 2 Banes to trade against.
Oh! Drones being pulled off the line. 5 workers already going down.
That's the Queen. Okay.
Focus fires down a couple final drones and nets himself 8 worker kills total before things are finally.
Joey is still ahead on drones, by the way.
Yeah.
Zerg versus Zerg.
A few more Lings also made over here for JimRising.
GogojOey's getting that +1 melee again as well. So if he survives the storm, JimRising's doing Spire again. All right. He's feeling very confident here. He could get these 3 drones, which I do think would be, at that point, enough to bring this into a good spot for him.
I mean, do you think that if JimRising sees a...
Oh, wow, that Bane hit.
Hey, that does change things a little bit. There's nothing
drones.
actually here for GogojOey for a little bit longer. He's only got 4 lanes right now.
Yeah, that's it. There's just that one Bane. The Queens are going to try to focus it. He does get it, but the Queens are dead. And without Larva Injects, it's also pretty hard to keep up in production with an opponent, especially in ZvZ. Look at the way he spreads out so quickly. He's got drones fighting Lings. And don't forget, he's got the 2 inside the main, so I'm going to assume he's going to turn those into Banelings.
Oh, those get caught.
Now. Does find them, though.
GogojOey gonna be on top of that, not gonna let that kind of Baneling run by happen. JimRising making a few more Lings behind us, but the Spire is about to finish up. He's been sniping off a couple of those Overlords, and GogojOey technically has only seen that there was a lair on the way. He did not make his way into the natural and spot out the Spire.
Can I just say Joey's been doing a great job building drones? Despite all of this, he's not like dead or anything. He's got that +1 melee, so his Lings are really good.
Oh,
that could have been a miracle.
Going up a ramp without vision, always a little scary in ZvZ.
Yeah, so GogojOey's lair is going to come in a lot later, but his Lings and his Banes are good. He does have more economy once again.
Okay, JimRising playing with fire once again.
The 2 for X trade. 2 Banelings kill a Baneling, so.
Okay, just lets him go by. Not going to worry about him, just running around another direction. But like you said, that +1 melee going to cause some problems here for JimRising when he goes into just pure Ling versus Ling fights. Now the mutas have been revealed.
That's good for him to see. And you know what? It's going to happen again. He's probably going to throw in some spores now. And then we're going to see him build a Spire. And we're going to see him build a ton of Corruptors. I'm ready for it.
Waiting to see it.
I'm ready for it. I want my mind to be blown. I want GogojOey to say right now, this is how Taiwan plays ZvZ. Prepare your body.
Now, one thing I will say, I would like to see, I was saying this before, or about to say this, JimRising, I do feel like he had the right idea when he started getting up the Hydras.
No creep tour between the bases, by the way.
Oh, that hurts. These queens are so slow. The Spore Caller is also not done yet. Even the Spore Caller taking some damage. It might actually get canceled. No, he's not going to stick around. Queens posing a little bit too much of a threat.
Yeah, but if he doesn't pop a Transfuse,
there it is.
That Spore would be sour boot life for a little while.
Yeah, 11 drones on the way behind this for JimRising.
JimRising's finally trying to get ahead in that economy.
And this game, as opposed to the last game, he actually has 3 bases. He can, remember the last game?
He's not mining gas in the 3rd yet, mind you. So the mutalist production
That's
is
true.
not, it's not like he's doing 3-base muta in terms of all of that. There we go, now he's taking those.
Yeah. Arguably though, GogojOey only mining off of
he
skipped
skipped one of the gases in his main, so they're on equal gas incoming.
Wow, there are a lot of Overlords down here. That's a pretty hefty supply block.
Yep, we got 6 Overlords that are finishing.
Yep.
4 of them are about to pop. And the Spire is done for GogojOey. So he starts Carapace. There we go, there's the Corruptor. It's happening. There's a Zergling counterattack. +1 Zergling gonna rip into that Queen, tearing her to shreds. And this is a huge opportunity for GogojOey to secure himself a nice economic lead as he gets into the drones. All that larva spent on economy definitely hurting JimRising now. 9 drones picked off as the Zerglings and the Mutalisks come back. And guess what? There's more and more Corruptors coming out.
We're going to see it once again. Now, GogojOey made a big mistake in the last game where he engaged 10, 15 seconds before +1 Carapace finished up, which would have been so helpful versus those mutas. Is he going to do that again? He might not actually have a choice this time because JimRising is the one looking to get aggressive.
Yep, he gets a really good Bane hit there, but there are so many Lings and Banes for JimRising. He's just going to come in, right-click on that Spore Crawler, and I don't think he has access to enough Corruptors for it to matter here because JimRising, once again, has +1 for those mutas, and the Carapace for the Corruptors is not ready yet. So even with the Queens here helping to zone out, he's having a really hard time dealing with those mutas, and if the Lings help fight the Queens, it's just going to end so quickly.
Ooh, Corruptor Transfuse. They do have a lot of hit points, so that is nice, but it's not nice enough. The Corruptors all get sniped off. Lings making their way forward.
Yep, he spent everything that he had trying to get the Corruptors out, and now he literally does not have any ground forces that can do anything about it.
Ooh, there was a counterattack, by the way. He didn't. GogojOey was able to snipe off the 3rd base. He's losing so much supply, though. So he's getting.
He just can't. Yeah. He can't defend himself. That's it. GG. JimRising ties it up. Glorious America's ZvZ.
Yeah. Showing GogojOey that Latin American Zerg versus Zerg. And we get ready to move into a game number 3. It's a pretty awesome match. Yeah. Exciting match. But that last game maybe showing a little bit of difficulty.
I wanted to see him crush him with Mass Corruptors again.
It's a pretty fun style to watch, but
oh, I don't think it's fun to watch. I just find it fascinating.
You don't find it fun to watch?
I'm like observing 2 guys like boxing, but instead the one guy's like, I'm only gonna wear like padding around my elbows and just try to like slam him down with my forearms instead without actually.
You know that's illegal, right?
I know. Well, Mass and Corruptors should be against the law too. Okay, what do you want?
This was not planned for by the boxing committee. It is certainly a bit of a weird style here, and I think it's been fun.
It's not my fists.
GogojOey clearly has a bit of a period there where if he's not going to go up to nearly as fast of a layer as JimRising likes to go to, though, he is just falling behind. He doesn't actually get up the massive Corruptors, and if you don't get to that point, then you actually have nothing to kill the mutas.
I agree. Since when are you the boxing expert anyway?
I've actually been doing boxing for a while.
I did not know you were into that.
Fun fact, I have done martial arts for 22 years now.
What?
Yeah.
Could you kill me?
I don't know.
Damn.
I haven't tried.
Please don't.
I have a plan, but I haven't tried.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad to be hanging out with you in LA. Then I'm glad I got you around me, Fear Dragon.
Speaking great
Suddenly
words
feel,
about LA.
Finally feel so much
the
more
safety.
safe. God,
Oh.
the studio's so big, and I don't know, man.
I don't
There's
know
gotta be-
who's going to be able to make it
someone
past
told me
those
there's, like-
security guards.
Somebody told me there's ghosts here and stuff. I'm just.
That's true. That's what martial arts prepares you for, is ghosts.
Well, if this was a horror movie, as the most prepared person to defend yourself, you would have to die first, which means that I have a much easier
This
escape.
is true.
So.
Also, as the racially diverse person, I think I am legally bound to be the first person to be killed off.
Oh
Well,
You
starting down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player from Mexico. He is JimRising.
And his opponent in the northwest, our Taiwanese Zerg in blue. He is GogojOey. This makes me think of every zombie movie ever, though. The one guy that's like, I had everything prepared, just immediately,
Oh, I've accepted. In a zombie
immediately wiped off the
apocalypse-
board.
No, zombie apocalypse, I am the first one to die, even if I didn't have any kind of preparation, even if I had preparation.
I don't
I would
think
be the
that
first
would
one to
happen.
die.
I don't think that would happen, Fear Dragon. I think you'd make it.
Because the thing is, I would be the person that we have like the bunker situation where we have some nice city going, and someone comes in, says, "Oh, can you?"
Oh,
let me
you'd
in?"
let them in?
I'd be like, "Oh, I can't turn you away."
Never mind. You're not coming.
Exactly,
You're not coming
and
into
I
our
would
fake
I
city.
would tell people that in advance, and I wouldn't be a part of the civilization.
Well, we could just keep you locked up somewhere, I guess. We could just not give you the key
I'm
to
in
the
the
door.
shed next to the
We-
city.
We could just not give you a key to the door.
That's fair.
That's what we would do. So how do we feel about this? Reasonably quick pooling gas from JimRising. Does he want to get aggro? Has he sniffed out a weakness, perhaps, in GogojOey's style that he can exploit early on?
I guess one other thing to think about is that GogojOey, more likely than not, has seen or been in games where corruptors have been made versus mutas more times than JimRising has been in games.
Very true.
So JimRising may also be kind of saying like, that first game got weird. The second game I did kill you, but let's just not let it happen. I mean, of course, this is not a super aggressive early pull. He made 2 lings. 2
Yeah.
lings do nothing here.
Yeah, it's not like he was doing this for a specific aggressive reason, I guess. Because even
It
though he
almost feels
does
more
this-
defensive, right?
Yeah,
It-
like he's not even. Is this just that really fast Spire again? Because he's not even getting ling speed. Maybe he just builds the Bailey nest in the back of his main one.
Yeah, I thought maybe he would go for a later speedling all-in or something, but he is still droning up. And usually if you're going to go for like a really fast speedling all-in, you maybe stop at 24 workers.
You need to get Zergling speed to do that.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah. So
Or even a Roach Horn or something to go for a really quick all-in, but it just doesn't seem like it.
I think if I'm GogojOey and I see this, my brain is immediately like, oh, he's going to do the layer thing again. Although it could
Here's
be
the
Roach.
Roach Horn,
It could
okay.
be Roaches because he is going to build a wall. And I'm going to assume that GogojOey will see this at some point. Even though his lings went so far in that they didn't, I'm going to assume that at some point another ling will come to the front.
Yeah, still has a scout up there. Zergling Speed's about to finish up too, so you're right, there's a really good chance GogojOey is going to move forward and see that. 2 Zerglings on the way. Evolution Chamber in a third base.
What
on
if
the
he
way.
didn't? What if he didn't see that wall and he just assumed because there was no speed that there was going to be the lair starting as soon as his Zerglings died and he rushes Corruptors?
There's
and then-
roaches with +1.
And then like 20 Roaches with +1 attack just A-move him.
Well, I'll tell
And
you.
then the Corruptors use their Caustic Spray and it turns into a base trade based on the cooldown of Caustic Spray.
Caustic Spray has a really long cooldown. For those who don't
It's 30
play,
seconds.
I think this is one of those things that a lot of people who don't play Zerg just don't know, is that Caustic Spray takes a really long time to come off of cooldown.
It's between, I think it's
It's
either
30
30
it's
or
like-
like 37.
The cooldown doesn't start either until you stop Caustic Spraying.
Yep.
So it's not like you start Caustic Spray, and if you do it for 30 seconds, you can just go immediately do something
See,
else.
I think people would expect that to be how it works, but there are units that their cooldown starts while the ability is still active. A big,
Adepts are, I think, an example of that.
yeah, Medivacs are a big one too.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed the Medivac boost upgrade, but with the way that it
Oh.
used to work, oh, he's still gonna get Aspire. Did he cancel everything?
He still has a Roach Horn.
No, he canceled +1
Oh, he did?
attack on his
But then he started back up as a Ling makes its way in, but the Ling...
This
okay.
is some weak bait, man.
He saw the spy. Even if
You know what? I don't think it matters because GogojOey has actually committed to what he wants to do, and he is going to actually have +1 attack roaches while it gets canceled by JimRising again, and he'll probably just move across the map.
This is quite cute. JimRising kills off the creep timber. He wants to fully wall off. Is that a fake out third then also?
He needs to start a lot more spine crawlers if he wants to defend this and get mutas.
Okay.
He needs to have like 6 or more.
He's actually just making roaches, and he can only make maybe 6, 7 mutas.
My lack of ZvZ expertise shows in that I haven't actually looked at the production tab long enough to realize that GogojOey is just droning up insanely hard behind this. He gets to cancel on the third. I guess pushing up here is still really risky. He doesn't have quite enough roaches, but it's still enough to be really threatening. Like even just killing the queens here would be really nice.
Yep.
But that spine crawler.
I'm with you that just killing the third base is really, really nice in this situation because it's a 2-base muta player, and you know that the mutas are coming if you realize that was a spire.
But if this was Automaton, he could have just ran straight through and just started killing the queens and whatnot. And I've been talking about this a little bit. These maps are a lot better for the defending the natural expansion.
Well, of course, with these roaches on the other side of the map, because it didn't. Wow, roach speed only just got started up. He had his lair finished before that attack, right?
His lairs. GogojOey's been getting his lairs pretty late.
He did get it late, but I thought his lair finished up right as the attack was hitting, and I thought he was going to.
Maybe. I'm not surprised at all, just because he has generally been leaning towards later lairs.
Well, either way, his spire is about halfway done. We are probably going to be seeing more of the corruptors, but I don't know. He did also see some roaches from JimRising this game, so maybe that changes his decision making.
Yeah, well, there he sees the spire. He should be expecting damn corruptors.
Yeah, he is actually making some more mutas as well. He's up to 11. He's making a few more.
It looks like he lost a few, though, at least.
He definitely lost 3 or 4. No, actually 1.
Really?
I
technology proving me wrong when I make outlandish claims again.
That's amazing. I really swear I just saw 3 mutas die there.
It looked like 3 mutalisks died. I was confident.
I guess, you know, the mechanical mutalisk just explode a little bit more.
AlphaCast is going to replace me so fast. Just got to program it to say noise every 20 seconds, and that's it.
Isn't that just a soundboard? No. Oh, but it's a soundboard that knows when to apply itself.
No. Yeah, exactly. The fact that it would learn to say noise every 20 seconds would make it much better than the soundboard.
It's not about the fact that it says noise. It's about the fact that it learned to say noise.
It learned to do it on its own. And the mutas are going to start killing the queens. The corruptor strategy seems really cool, but you can't just skimp on spores in all the bases.
Yeah, he really delayed the spores. The mutas were attacking and killing all of the... Well, I guess we might get into that base trade situation, Nate.
Yeah, he's got a lot more to counterattack with than he did on the last map.
But the problem is, if you try and base trade versus mutas...
well, he does have some spores. The mutas are going home to defend. He's feeling the panic. He's feeling the pressure. You know, that's that sweat.
Is 12? I don't think 12 workers is enough to... Even if it kills the third, I don't think this has been worth it for GogojOey, though, right?
Well, that depends. GogojOey was not really behind on workers before, so it's actually even now. So GogojOey has a third base and drones spread across those 3 bases, whereas JimRising has the same number of drones not spread across 3 bases.
That's fair. The corruptor count is...
Getting a few free hits on these.
Yeah.
I love watching the mutalisks crash to the ground like spaceships. That's my favorite part of the simulants.
Mutas engaging versus the corruptors. The mutas will win this fight. It is still a...
He needs to get Carapace.
This is worth it?
He needs to get Carapace on the corruptors.
So yeah, this is what I was a little afraid of. When you lose all of your roaches at the ground, JimRising this game actually has roaches. He has a ground army. So he just does counter damage, kills 21 workers, kills a bunch more of the roaches that are popping out, and will be able to kill the queens afterwards. And guess what? There are still a few mutas left over.
Yeah. Now he's just going to bring everything back, clean this up, and brutal moment here for Joey. I couldn't do it, Ukes.
He tried. The JimRising comes out on top 2-1. And that is going to be his Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah. GogojOey. That was... His build was very...
I loved it.
His build is very interesting. I mean, corruptors cost more than mutas, and they do take a little bit longer to build. So when you're going to do that, not having the spore and the natural really hurt him, because losing just a few units And the other thing, best part about the way that JimRising did this is especially because he was getting his lair so much faster this series, he opened up with really fast flyer attacks. And that made the mutas so much better against the corruptors because even though GogojOey tried to get the carapace, it was only one of his games he could actually do it.
Yep. Kind of interesting. I really wonder how the game would have played out or how that kind of style would play out if he gets up a slightly faster Spire. Because a lot of the problem was that he never got up to a big number. In the game he got up to a big number of Corruptors, he actually could push back.
Oh, it looked weirdly good. Yeah.
But when there's 4 Corruptors versus 12 Mutas, the Corruptors just die, right? So it was a little bit odd. Either way, though, congratulations to JimRising. Keeps his hopes alive. Moves on to that decider match. And GogojOey, unfortunately, is going to get knocked out, but had at least a memorable showing at a minimum.
Indeed, he did. And that brings us to the winners match. So we're going to have Neeb versus Rex coming up next.
Look forward to it, guys.